The clock is ticking, and whether we notice it or not, it isn't ticking in our favor. Every hour that passes, every day that slips away, is gone forever. You can always earn more money, but you can never create more minutes. Yet strangely, most people live as if they've been promised unlimited time. They push aside the important things, delay what truly matters, and trade lasting value for temporary distractions. Life is not a rehearsal. You don't get to practice your lines, make mistakes, and then restart when you feel prepared. This isn't the only performance, so the question is, are you using your time like it matters, or letting it disappear through excuses? The clock doesn't stop because you're tired. It doesn't pause because you're uncertain. It doesn't wait until you feel ready. It keeps moving steady, relentless. And if you're not careful, one day you'll look back and realize it wasn't the big failures that cost you the life you wanted. It was the quiet waste of minutes, hours, and days you thought didn't matter. Here's the truth that changed everything for me. Time is either working for you or against you, never neutral. Every day spent with discipline, learning, and action compounds into results. Every day wasted in hesitation or distraction compounds into regret. The clock is always moving. The real question is, what is it building for you? Most people live under the illusion that time is abundant, that tomorrow will always offer more than today. They tell themselves they'll start later, when things settle, or when they finally feel ready. But tomorrow arrives faster than expected. Later often never comes, and waiting for the perfect moment is how entire decades vanish. Think about how people treat money. If someone handed them a stack of cash, they would guard it, plan it, and spend it with purpose. But when it comes to time, something far more valuable than money, most people spend it carelessly. Hours slip away on shows, endless conversations, or waiting for a sign that never comes. Once that hour is gone, it's gone. You can earn money again, but you will never earn back lost time. It's easy to believe there's always more ahead, especially when you're young. It feels like the days stretch on forever, but then years pass, and the things you thought you'd begin by now still haven't started. That's the danger of the illusion. Time feels generous in the moment, but it's never as generous as it seems. I once knew a man who said he would wait until retirement to enjoy life. I'll travel when I'm done working. He'd say, I'll build my dream house later. I'll write my book when I finally have the time. But when retirement came, his health had faded. He had the hours, but not the strength. All those years of waiting turned into regret. The tragedy wasn't lack of opportunity, it was believing more time would magically appear. The reality is simple. You don't get more time when you run out. You can't store it, stretch it, or bargain with it. It moves forward whether you use it or not, and if you're not careful, you'll keep thinking you have plenty until you don't. That's the danger of living under the illusion of endless time. This is why discipline matters. When you understand your time is limited, you start living with urgency. You stop wasting it on things that don't count, and begin valuing every hour, every choice, every day. And once that mindset changes, your life begins to change. Because instead of waiting for more time, you start using the time you already have. Think of time like money in a savings account, but with one major difference. Money grows when you leave it in the bank. Time grows only when you put it into action. The hours you spend wisely today don't just add to your future, they multiply it. The hours you waste don't just disappear, they multiply too, but in the wrong direction. A man once told me he couldn't understand why his life looked the same year after year. I asked him to describe a typical day, nothing dramatic, just small wastes, a little too much TV, a little too much sleep, a little too much delay, pushing things to tomorrow. On the surface, it didn't seem harmful, but stretched across 5, 10, 15 years, it was costly. He was compounding failure, one quiet choice at a time. Now take another person with the same 24 hours. He chooses to read 10 pages of a good book every day. That may not sound like much, just 10 pages, but in a year, that's over 3,000 pages, the equivalent of 10 to 12 books. If he keeps it up for 10 years, he will have read more than 100. Think about the change in perspective, vocabulary, and vision. The difference between these two people doesn't come from one big choice. It comes from how they use their days. This is why I often warn people to watch out for neglect. Neglect begins small. You miss one workout, skip one conversation, delay one project. And because nothing collapses right away, you think it didn't matter, but neglect compounds silently. It builds on itself until one day you realize the gap between what could have been and what is has become massive. On the other hand, discipline compounds the same way. A small effort added daily creates a margin that keeps growing. The person who invests a little time each day is not the same person 10 years later. That is both the risk and the power of compounding. Time doesn't stay still, it magnifies whatever you give it, so the real question isn't whether time will pass, it will. The real question is, what will time multiply for me? Because whatever you place into the clock today, whether waste or discipline, will grow into something larger tomorrow. Time doesn't wait, it doesn't slow when we hesitate, and it doesn't pause while we prepare. Every day, the clock moves forward, whether we use it wisely or let it slip away. That's the great equalizer. No one gets more time, no one gets less. The only difference lies in how we use the hours we are given. If you are waiting for motivation, waiting for clarity, or waiting for the right moment, know this: it won't arrive. The right time is now, not when you feel ready, not when conditions are perfect, not when everything lines up. Because if you wait for perfection, 10 years will pass and all you will have left is regret. The truth is, life rewards urgency. It rewards the person who begins today instead of waiting. It rewards the one who knows each day matters, because once it passes, it's gone forever. And the small things you do with urgency, those daily steps, those simple decisions are what compound into extraordinary results over time. So ask yourself, what will you do with the time left on your clock? Because no one knows how much of it remains. The future is never guaranteed, but the present is here and it's yours to use. The choice is simple: keep waiting or start building. Keep hoping or start doing. When you treat time as the limited resource it is, each day takes on a new urgency. You waste less, produce more, and live with a direction most people never discover. That's how you build a life of meaning. That's how you look back without regret. The clock is ticking, and it isn't on your side. Use it,